those combat-heavy areas of the seed, and we are underway. Same flag set as game number 1. All of the dungeons are going to be in their vanilla locations, and all of them are going to be shuffled, meaning that level 3 will be a dungeon. The question is it going to be that dungeon, the one that holds those items? Again, with the vanilla flag set, as far as the dungeons are concerned, we are going to be looking for the recorder, we are going to be looking for the raft, and we are going to be looking for a fire source, one of the 2 candles that will allow us to access Vanilla 8, Vanilla 7, and Vanilla 4's locations. And speaking of 8, Cab looks in level 3, finds level 8. Jaylow headed towards Vanilla 1, and he's going to find level 1! So a Vanilla find there, and in this particular instance, might be an advantage for Jaylow, as Cab is dealing with these insanely annoying Lambos. Meanwhile, Jaylow back into level 1 with 4 bombs. So he's in great shape here. Let's see which play ends up being the more advantageous. For those of you just joining us, game number 1 was a knock him down sort of slobber knocker fight, but MrCab ended up taking it, able to find the progression earlier than Jaylow was, and Jaylow does find the first item here in level 1. It is a heart container on the floor, so one of our 3 items down. Of course, with 3 items in both these dungeons. In MrCab's case, it'll be 1 on the floor, 2 in staircases. And in Jaylow's case, it'll be 2 on the floor, 1 in a staircase. We've already found one of those 2 on the floor. Also, he does have 1 key, and is on the fence if he wants to spend it here or not, as Cab clicks into this block and is taking out this blue Lamela, again using that very nifty strat. Gets 5 rupees for his issues, and look at that ink blot. That is quite the shape of that level 8 there. He goes in and he finds a heart container.
And there's another heart container. Yes, indeedy.
Welcome, Laws. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Boy, I do apologize for that. Oh, man, I was just knocked out, and here we are, but at least I didn't miss too much.
Now, all we've found so far, level 8 in Vanilla 3's location, level 1 in Vanilla 1's. Jaylow has found a heart container. Cab found a heart container before he found what I think was a key block, and he's headed into 1 as well.
Alright, so it's time to find out what we have behind Vanilla level 1's location, and after getting the 5 rupee, we have, well, level 1. You know what to do about that.
Really nice to find 1 HP Gorillas again. That's 2 seeds in a row, and Gorillas in the overworld again. So a little bit of deja vu for these runners. It's going to make really easy pickings for potential bomb farms later in the seed. Meanwhile, MrCab finds an NSU room, and I hope he's not avoiding his gluten, because that was full of pancakes. Gets a key for his troubles.
Oh no, and Jaylow taking a death here in level 1, so back to start he goes.
Of course, the deaths this early, they come in bunches. It doesn't matter who you are. You're bound to find them somewhere. Randomizer, of course, giving you rooms full of bunnies in level 1. That is just not fair when you're just wooden sword and 4 or 5 heart containers in this case. A lot of brutal enemy sets early on here.
Yeah, without a doubt here, James. And MrCab clearing that room and going to go back to the east here. If this is not a segment to level 1, we have found an item for Jaylow. There's the map and contestants. Name that ink blot. This is our staircase item, and it's hello.
Nice find early here for Jaylow. His key troubles are over.
Absolutely here. Very small level 1 here, and yeah, when you're looking at no keys on your side of the board and you find that magical key, that's always a magnificent find, James.
Chat saying it's a turret, it's a faucet. I like a faucet. It kind of looks like a faucet.
Yeah, I kind of see that resemblance of a faucet. Yeah, that's not a bad answer either.
One item remains here in 1, plus that Triforce. Again, remember with Heart Shuffle on, each dungeon will have an item on the floor. Level 1's case, there are 2. One replacing the boomerang and one replacing a heart container. We found one. There's the Tringle. If these bubbles will let him get to it. Oh, he's going to leave it for now.
And decision time for Jaylow. Does not want to spend either his heart container or 38 rupees.
And of course, you got to think, fresh in these runners' minds coming off of game 1, where there were so many items that they had to save and come back for because of blocks. I wouldn't be surprised, Laws, in this particular instance, no matter what, I think they're going to find this item. Unless they are truly blocked, they're going to look for it. They're going to dig.
Oh, and Jaylow taking another death here, so back to start he goes again. MrCab picks up his map, and he'll go into the staircase, and he'll pick up his magical key. And Jaylow saying no more to level 1, so he'll come out of there without the Triforce in hand. We'll see if MrCab is more fortunate.
Well, we saw MrCab knows where the Triforce is, so I imagine he's going to at least pick that up. The question now becomes, is he going to be able to find that third item, A, and what is it going to be? For those of you just joining us, the last seed, it was a total right order seed where the raft blocked the ladder. The raft was blocked by all kinds of enemies that were tough to kill. The recorder blocked the bow, I believe, and it was just one of those seeds where the winner was an hour, 30 minutes in. So you got to imagine that's going to be fresh on their minds. They're going to probably want to be very thorough as long as they can be.
Yeah, no question about it here. Yeah, MrCab looks like he seems to be pot committed. He's trying to find that third item. Perhaps it's here in this NSU room, but that bubble giving him a little bit of trouble here. One more Tektite to go, and nope, that's not it.
At this point, from what we've seen, I think, Laws, it's going to be hidden behind that Money or Life room.
Yeah, it looks like he's going back into that room, and he may have to spend one of his precious hearts. MrCab does not want to spend any of that right now, and you certainly can't fault him here.
Ooh, look at that!
Nice! I definitely approve of that large secret, and MrCab picks up his Triforce out of level 1. Yeah, 133 rupees for the large secret. That's quite nice.
So that does bring up an interesting question. Jaylow knows that there's a block there, and he was into level 1 before MrCab. Remember, MrCab went to 8 first. So if level 1, if Jaylow was able to see everything, and I don't think he was because he didn't get the Triforce, but does he potentially go back and pay that old man? I'm really curious, Laws, what they left behind.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting decision if they go back this early and find out what they missed out on. It's hard to say at this point. I got a feeling we're not going to see these runners go back unless it's absolutely positively necessary. Ganon, the other white meat. So that is not where the that's not where the that's not where the Armos item is.
Well, cheap bait, and of course the shopkeeper tells us we do not ask where it comes from. If it's that cheap, I don't want to ask.
There's our white sword item. It happens to be a heart container, and Jaylow is able to pick that up. He's now up to 6 hearts. Oh, a good thing that large is as large as it is. Look at what the medium secret is. It's the minimum 25 rupees.
And speaking of medium secret, we now conclude that our Armos item is going to be one of those 230 secrets hidden. Or excuse me, the 30 secret east of level 2 is going to be where our Armos item is hiding.
And we have level 6 behind level 6's location. Jaylow's going to head for the vanilla level 5 location and find level 2. And oh my goodness gracious, look at the ink blot here in level 6. Contestants, name that ink blot.
That is level 9 on a diet. That is insane. I don't think I've ever seen a level 6 that big, Laws. And it's
one of the
ladder
bigger ones.
blocked.
And it's got wizrobes in it. My goodness gracious. That is a 37 room level 6. That's definitely one of the bigger ones you'll see in shapes.
So I think I don't think I'm going back there until I'm go mode unless I'm missing something. Man, you know it's going to be tough combat. You know it's ladder blocked, and it's like, how many rooms was that? That was insane.
Jaylow getting a beam to the back there, so back to start he goes in level 2. Looks like MrCab, well, I thought he was going to head towards the coast, but instead he's going to head towards the level 8 spot. And Jaylow looks like he's saying no more to level 2 here, so we'll have to come back later. Boy, so far, Seed proven to be a little bit brutal for both of our runners here.
Yeah, unfortunately, with wizrobes in the dungeons, combat looking like it's going to be an issue, really going to necessitate that they manage their health and their offense and defense. So we may see another blue ring purchase like we saw last seed. We may see, you know, priority to getting those offensive upgrades before these dungeons get dug.
And MrCab heading for the burn bush, and it's where level 3 is. Jaylow gonna pick up this heart container in the take any's, as MrCab going to pick up the Triforce here in level 3. That's gonna be his second one. That was a very fast Triforce. Let's see if MrCab decides to go back in, or if he is going to gamble. He's going back in.
I would not blame him if that was level 6. Not just in this case, but just in general. But with level 3 being, you know it's going to be tiny, it's definitely worth, I think, at least poking your head in here and seeing what the enemy set is.
Yeah, I agree completely here, and we find that both MrCab and now Jaylow both have purchased a blue candle, so now they both have access to that vanilla level 8 burn bush.
Oh man, level 3 paying out in dividends for MrCab. Nice room. Not a nice room.
Yeah, he finds a ladder block. We find that our small secret is 14 rupees. Not too bad. This is where we're going to find our Armos item, and it is the 1. That's pretty good.
That's definitely going to help with some of this combat issues. Unfortunately, with wizrobes being in 2 of our dungeons so far, it is going to mean it's not going to help as much as it could, but still, what a nice find for Jaylow.
Yeah, certainly JSR, because the 1 does 2 hit points of damage. It's very useful against most of the enemies, but yeah, wizrobes won't do any good against wizrobes, but most enemies in this game, yeah, that 1 is definitely going to bail you out, as Jaylow looks like is going to go ahead and save his game and take a different path. If this is not a segment to level 3, here's our item. Oh boy, the ladder.
Ladder in 3. Nice find for Cab. Jaylow did find level 9 in the vanilla 2 location before he updates. We do know where level 9 is, but that ladder may be the even bigger of those 2 finds. Oh, did you see that?
I did not see that. I saw another ladder block.
Oh, you should see the item he picked off the floor. It just lit up on his tracker.
Oh my, the bow.
What a level 3 for MrCab. Good decision. It is a good thing he did not think about ditching.
Yeah, bailing out would have been a mistake there. He'll go ahead and grab the item on the coast, which happens to be a heart container. He is currently sitting on 7 hearts. Meanwhile, Jaylow looks like he's heading towards the vanilla blue shop area.
MrCab about to pick up his wand, so instant. He's going to have a tough break for Jaylow.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of a popular spot to take a death. That's just nasty enemy sense there. When you're dealing with Dark Nuts that do 1 and 2 hearts of damage, respectively, that is just a nasty screen to negotiate. Tough death there for Jaylow.
Cab is in a really strong situation at the moment. Definitely our early leader here. He's got the wand for offense, the ladder, and the bow, and 7 heart containers, 2 Triforces. He's off to a tremendously strong start.
And there's our prices for the potions here. 35 rupees for the Pepsi, but a nice discount, 50 rupees for the Coke. This is a good time to purchase the double here.
As our runners go through the overworld, making their way around trying to find these locations and items and whatnots. Just want to remind everybody here in Game 2 to give both our runners a follow. Jaylow7, MrCab55 putting on an amazing show for you tonight. In the event that a Game 3 is necessary, I'll check the schedule and give you guys an update on when that is going to be. But make sure you follow all of the Randomania and Speed Gaming network of channels to get all of this exciting randomizer action.
Yeah, that's right, JSR. You have Speed Gaming through Speed Gaming 6 and, of course, Randomania through Randomania 4. We couldn't do it without these fine group of people. Cab finds his white sword item, that heart container. He's now up to 9 hearts. He's currently just 1 heart away from a potential shot at the magical sword. And again, considering that we have Wizrobes in the dungeons, it could potentially be in play. Jaylow now in level 8. We're going to see 3 items here, 2 behind staircases and 1 that's going to be on the ground. And ooh, we've got the danger noodles here, the orange land molas. Jaylow takes care of one of them if he can escape. Nice.
Snake, why you do this, Snake?
Well, let's say if he's able to push this. He is able to push it. Is it one of our 2 staircase items? It is, and it's a heart container.
Not what he wanted to find, but peace of mind is better than a piece of heart. He gets a full heart instead. And the fresh old man of level 2 busted a flow here early.
Oh yeah, I see that he was doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air parody there. I like it. Uh-oh, I don't like this though, James. It's the blue danger noodles.
Oh, get out! Get out, Jaylow! He does!
Nicely done. Oh!
Go.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire, James. I sure hope that is not required for his...
Oh, come on, game.
Oh, at least he got the nice... got the bullseye on that bomb shot. That was a really nicely placed bomb there from Jaylow.
No Gleeok? No Gleeok? What you threw everything at us but the Gleeok there, game. Where's
no
Patra
Gleeok?
when we need him?
Yeah, no Patra, no Aquamentus, no Trolldongos. Just, come on, game. You can do better than that.
Jaylow did a very nice job there with that mini boss rush. Gets through and finds the Triforce and a staircase.
Could it be our second item? No, it's a transport. And we do have an ink blot here in level 2 on Mr. Cab's side. Contestants, name that ink blot. Oh, we have the recorder that Mr. Cab has just picked up on the ground. That's a very nice find.
Kind of looks like... I don't know. I'm gonna... like maybe somebody's sliding into a base? No. I'm not sure. Oh, that doesn't look good.
8 blue Wizrobes, and Mr. Cab getting absolutely bodied by him. And speaking of getting bodied, Jaylow couldn't get the bullseye on that troll handler, and he succumbs to that final set of sprouts there. Back to start he goes.
Mr. Cab says, you know what, I'll try the other way, and gets more blue Wizrobes. Like, thanks, game. Thanks.
Wow. Oh, that is just... ugly there, because you're losing 2 hearts every time you get bopped by him. There's a map on level 8, and holy smokes, it's not a segment to level 8, but holy, what a shape. Name that ink blot.
It kind of looks like a punching bag that you would see in a gym, one of those speed bags that's like mounted on the ceiling.
Yeah, kind of in the medium section of size. It's the 34 room level 8. So the next staircase, boy, this has potential of being that second staircase item. Hopefully for Jaylow's sake, it's not, but you just never know.
Man, this level 2 is brutal.
This seed so far in general is brutal.
He gets through the Wizrobes just to find Lionel's. Like, how do you do, game?
Wow.
Who rolled this seed? Oh, it was me. Blame JSR
It was you?
in full effect, yeah.
Oh, man. And there's a key drop for Jaylow. He absolutely doesn't need it. He's already got the magical key. Both of our runners have the magical key out of level 1.
So interesting. Cab is going back in. No safeties, only one bomb. He's going to have to get past these blue Wizrobes with just what he's got. This is a dangerous play. If it pays off... Oh, never mind. He's not even going to mess with it. He's just grabbing his Triforce and he's out, and I don't blame him one bit.
Me neither, James. That is just a nasty level 2. He can always come back if he's better equipped and he's still missing something. But, yeah, there is no possible way MrCab's going back into level 2. Yeah, he's done.
I mean, the good news is that with the recorder and ladder in hand, it's really unlikely.
Oh, man, another mugger room. That's already 2.
Really unlikely that level 2 item is going to be the raft or the silver arrows, but it is still possible, and for their sakes, hopefully they're able to find those elsewhere. That's gonna be
man. This level 8 here, James, is just full of bosses here. I've never seen anything like it.
Jaylow doing a pretty good job, though. He's getting around. Oh, here, have some more Lambos. Sure.
Wow. Again, at least it's the slow-moving one. This time, he could just be safe from its attacks. And he is not going to continue, it looks like.
Yeah, out of bombs and out of patience, and I don't blame him for either. Cab, oh, hello, more Wizrobes. Sure.
Wow.
This is why I don't roll seeds. This is why I don't roll seeds, Moz.
How many dungeons of Wizrobes is that already? It's got to be at least 3, James.
Lots of Wizrobes, ladder blocks, although it's not going to be too big of a deal for Cab. And lots of tough required combat. And I got to give our runners credit. They're doing a fantastic job with what they've been dealt with so far.
Oh, man, no question about it, JSR. I mean, you're dealt a hand with all these Wizrobes, difficult combat, and, you know, you have no red ring, you have no white sword, you have no magical sword. Yeah, that's tough to negotiate.
And yeah, question in chat, I do believe Jaylow did not pick up the Triforce in 8. So...
Yeah, he did not. No. He is going to go into level 3 now. Remember, level 3 has the bow and the ladder.
And it wasn't full of Wizrobes, if I remember correctly, so this is going to be a welcome sight for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's had about enough of those cloaked magician-wielding dudes. And there's the Triforce in level 3. But look at this! In level 5, silver arrows for Mr. Cab. He is now just a raft away from being in Triforce and Go mode.
Yeah, give a man a Gatling gun, why don't you? 71 silver arrows in his pocket now. Pole's voice no longer an issue, and pretty much all of the enemies that could be damaged with a wand, unfortunately, are the ones at the silver arrows. But look at this, though. Level 5 ladder blocked. Of course, Mr. Cab has the ladder, so it's not going to really affect him. But for Jaylow's sake, you got to hope he finds his ladder.
Yeah, before he gets into level 5 for sure. And this is actually definitely on the small side. This is one of the smaller level 5s I have seen, James. Just 17 rooms. And there's the raft!
Wow! Unreal. Laws, can we just appreciate for a split second of what we've seen in this seed so far? And now, Mr. Cab is in Triforce and Go mode. 25, sub 25.
Boy, that is absolutely humongous. definitely turned out to be one of those right order seeds, the old chain reaction seed, where one item leads to another. And right now, everything rolling Mr. Cab's way early on here in game number 2. Remember, he's already up 1-0 this match. He wins this game, he moves on to the next round.
See, I told you guys, let me roll your seeds. You get seeds like this. I told you. And there's a Triforce. He's on a roll out of 5.
Yep, that's going to be his 4th Triforce piece. We'll find out where he is going next. But at this point forward, it's nothing but Triforces, and he can proceed. Jaylow finds his ladder here in level 3, so he'll go ahead and pick that up.
All right, so sub 25 go mode for Cab at this point. He just needs to find those dungeons. The only thing that could stop him at this point, Laws, would be a bait block, but with 71 rupees, even that's going to be trivial.
Yeah, he should be able to buy the cheap bait. I have not seen the prices of the meat and the seed myself, but Mr. Cab going to head for the raft spot, and it turns out to be level 4. So once again, chat, you know what to do about that.
What is that? We've seen every dungeon now except for whatever is behind Vanilla 7. And that's 3 dungeons in their vanilla locations. Is this even randomized?
Yeah, and the funny thing is it's the special dungeons as well, the ones that are in special spots. The raft spot, Recorder Lake, and we do find a heart container on the ground for Mr. Cab, so that takes him up to 10 hearts. And Jaylow gets his Triforce out of level 3 as well as the bow. So he is done with level 3. Mr. Cab has one more head left to go on this Gliak, and he can't take him down.
Tough break. I think he'll be fine in rebounds just fine here. Jaylow, meanwhile, sees the bait, thinks about it, decides not to. But yeah, he did full clear that 3. So Jaylow is underway now. He's finally got some items for progression. And despite the lead, Cab now has 5 Triforces. He knows, I would assume, that he's in Triforce to go mode. For Jaylow's sake, you gotta hope he goes to 5 soon. And I guess the good news is 5 isn't far. So it should be closer than it could be.
And I wonder if Jaylow is going to save his money to buy a blue ring again. I think that might have been the reason why he decided not to purchase that cheap bait. So, yeah, as you were mentioning, if bait is required, yeah, Mr. Cab can definitely afford it. Jaylow heading for a small secret. Now he's got the cash to get that blue ring, and it looks like he's heading there.
And to be honest, I don't blame him. I mean,
no.
The way this is combat-wise, yeah, absolutely a good play. Unfortunately, it's just in this particular circumstance, he doesn't have any idea that his opponent's already in go mode, which is ridiculous. This is not an easy seed, and Cab is flying.
Yeah, absolutely. It would take a behemoth great equalizer at this point for Mr. Cab not to win this race. But again, anything can happen. And it is indeed a push block, and there indeed is an item to jewelry!
Wow!
Wow! I don't believe this. Everything coming up Mr. Cab here. So you needed the bow and arrow to get the red ring that quadruples your defense. Boy, how insane is this, James?
I mean, the only thing he's missing at this point is the white sword, but I mean, yeah. Literally everything he's found so far has been a required item. I mean, the only thing he's got the any key, the wand, the red ring. This is insane. He is flying.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next thing he wants to find is either the Triforce or the compass that's going to show him the way exactly where that Triforce is. Now he could take down this Goma, but unfortunately a little bit slow in the draw. He's going to have to wait until that eye opens up again.
Meanwhile, Jaylow headed back into level 1. He did leave 1 a little on the early side. Did get his any key out of 1 his first time in. Just needs that Tringle. And with the blue ring and a potion in hand, plus a little upgraded offense, he should be able to get out of 1. And at this point, it's just going to be it's going to come down to when Jaylow makes that play to 5. So he can get that recorder and that raft, because that'll put him in Triforce and go mode as well. But the longer he delays, the bigger this lead's going to get for Cab.
Yeah, and that lead just got bigger for Mr. Cab. That's the 6th Triforce piece now. Just needs level 6 and 7. But Jaylow does get his 2nd Triforce piece here out of level 1.
Wow, he is flying, Laws. Not even 30 minutes in, and only 2 Triforce pieces. He already knows where level 9 is. This is the complete polar opposite of what we just saw in game 1. Unreal.
Absolutely. I mean, game 1 was all sorts of troll for both of these runners, and we have another manhandler here. How many manhandlers can this seat possibly throw at us, James?
Impressive. He didn't go after the bombs, and I do think in the back of his mind, after what we just saw, that he knows, dude, he doesn't need bombs. He just kills.
Of course, the game provides. Oh, and he finds the compass too. Wow.
In level 7, in a spiral room, I don't think he was looking for the drop per se. I think he was looking for bombs. He could have been, but yeah, I mean, that is a huge find, and what appears to be a giant level 7.
Yeah, it's because remember, and there's a heart container, and Mr. Cam's going to pick it up, so he may consider the magical sword. He now has a 40% chance of picking it up if he decides to make that play. He does have the red ring, so it may not be as enticing as it might be under normal circumstances. Yes, keep in mind that level 7's ink blot is going to fit inside level 8's ink blot because those 2 levels share the same 8x8 grid. But the rule of thumb is that level 8 will always be at least the same size, if not bigger, than level 7 every time.
Yeah, and we do know that that level 8 shape is conducive for what is a relatively chunky bottom part of 7, so I'm pretty sure Cab remembers that, and he's going to be able to find a path. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he knows exactly where he's going. This is going to be short work here. Unless he's blocked.
Can he bomb to the left out of this old man room? Yes, he can.
Oh,
shoot! Oh, no! Looks
Well,
like Mr. Cab.
At least this isn't the water temple.
Yeah, bump the water temple from Ocarina of Time and a bunch of other Zelda games that has a water temple. I'll pass, thank you.
You ever thought about it that level 7, the vanilla level 7, is under a lake until Link gets there and drains the lake? So I'm sure Redbird Grad would agree with me. I'm pretty sure level 7 qualifies as the water temple, so the old man is lying.
Right. And we do have an ink blot. That is an Octorok.
I like it. That is an Octorok. Great. That was awesome.
You better believe it. So, contestants, do you agree or do you have your own ideas? Name that ink blot. And Jaylow does pick up, it looks like, another heart container from the Candle Row secret area. So he's up to 10 hearts. So he currently sports a 20% chance of picking up the magical sword. And Mr. Cab going through the chute and just 1 room away, which he's able to get to easily. Let's find out what Mr. Cab's going to have to tackle with to get this Triforce out of level 7. Just a few Stealthos.
Jaylow going back into level 1, I'm imagining he missed one of the items because he does already have the Triforce. Speaking of Triforce.
Yes, indeed, JSR. Mr. Cab getting the Triforce out of level 7. He just needs the Triforce out of level 6. I'll tell you what, JSR. This is something you don't see every day in Chase, but Mr. Cab right now has the potential to sub 50 the seed.
I'll tell you what, Laws, if level 6 is kind, remember, we haven't seen level 6 yet, I don't think. Did we see much of it?
I don't think so, James.
If 6 is kind, and I mean, it's got to be super kind, he is going to make...
Wait a minute. We have seen level 6 a little bit. I do apologize. And he is going to check the magical sword. There's a 40% chance he's going to quadruple his attack power. No dice.
Finally, something does not go Cab's way. Probably won't see him make another play for it unless he finds heart containers here. But if 6 is really nice, he has an outside chance at a sub 45.
Absolutely right. But keep in mind, as you see that ink blot, we had discovered it earlier, that is a 37-room level 6 that also has a 1-off.
And don't forget, everyone's favorite enemies.
Yeah, they're back again, the Wizarobes.
Meanwhile, Jaylow up A's out of 1. Maybe found the item. I don't know if he did or not. But
Power Bracelet was the other item in level 1.
yes, you're right. So unfortunate for Jaylow, he did dig that out. And at this point, the longer, of course he has no way to know, but the longer he goes without going to 5, his chances of being eliminated grow and grow.
Yeah, again, at this point, it would take one massive great equalizer to stop MrCab. He's got all of the keys in the world, and he is sitting on 8 bombs maximum. He's got the red ring. He's got 11 hearts, which is the equivalent of 44 hearts. I mean, yeah, it's going to take Link, in his case, since he's playing as Zelda. It's going to take Link to play one of the greatest games of hide-and-seek in the world, in my opinion, for Jaylow to have any shot. And even then, that might not be enough. Oh, and there's the compass. He's one room away.
Wow, dude. Unfortunately, he is going to have to clear this extremely difficult combat-heavy room with 2 bubbles, 4 Wizrobes, and a Lionel. And don't forget Wall Masters. And if he gets Wall Mastered, Laws, all his hard work here goes right down the drain. Watch out! Oh!
He survives, just a blue Lionel to go. Nice fight. Magical sword, bad news for Jaylow. 10 hearts will not be enough to pick it up. Oh, but some bad news for MrCab. Not 1, not 2, not 6, but 8. Count them. 8 blue Wizrobes required to complete level 6. Well, so much for level 6 being nice, James.
And they are beefy. He's out of bombs, already down to 1.5 hearts. If he kills any of these guys, I think he has to leave the room and save that progress. Now, the good news for him, and I mean this in the lightest of possible good news scenarios, he's already got that room cleared. He does take a death here, right? He already has that first room cleared, but he's down to 3 hearts, no bombs. I almost think you have to leave and stock up some supplies here. There's no way you're getting that room clear.
He may want to consider getting a potion somewhere, whether it's the letter plus buying a potion, or if he has not exhausted all 4 of the Take Any caves, get one from over there. Let's see what MrCab has in mind.
You know what I would do, Laws, if I were in this scenario? I would go and get every heart container in the overworld that I know I have not gotten yet, because that mags is right there, even if it's just 1 or 2. Because you can always go get the potion from a letter. And I would go for mags. Oh, Jaylow attempted, and he gets a helping hand from the game.
Well, what will MrCab decide to take in the bonus cave at Candle Row? He's going for the potion, and I like this call. It's guaranteed refilling of your health twice. There is no guarantee that magical sword can be obtained at 12 hearts. I like this move.
So here's an interesting scenario, Lars. Looking at it from Jaylow's point of view, he just went into 6. He knows that Triforce is guarded by at least 1 extremely stupid room. Cab does not have Cab has the red ring, but he has the wooden sword, right? He only has 4 bombs. In the scenario that this room continues to troll him, which is unlikely at this point, but it is possible, and Jaylow is headed in the direction of level 5 if he gets up there soon enough, do you think there's any chance this room could maybe close this gap a little bit?
Possibly, JSR, but there's one thing that's working against Jaylow at this point, and that is the defense. Because remember, MrCab has the red ring, which is quadruple the defense of normal, whereas Jaylow only has the blue ring, which is double the defense as normal. So, unless Jaylow were to get a weapon upgrade over MrCab, I don't think it's going to really make much of a difference, James.
Well, here goes Cab versus Wizrobes, round 2. Only 4 bombs to his name, but we already know the path to the Triforce. It really comes down to, can he survive 2 extremely difficult rooms of combat back to back?
And Jaylow putting the power bracelet to use, he is going to warp. Well, I thought he was going to make the play for the level 5 location instead. No, I have no idea where he wants to go.
Well, shouts out to Fifth Element. We're seeing the multi-pass meme, which is always nice.
Indeed, and MrCab gonna have to do this room again, because once you escape a dungeon, the rooms reset, even though there are bubbles in there, and he does have to be careful that he doesn't get wall mastered. He doesn't here.
Bubbles just not leaving him alone. Luckily, that red ring is going to trivialize the damage he's taking here as he's stuck between a wall and a hard place.
Well, the good news is he just took care of the blue Wizrobe, and now with the wand, he'll take care of the blue Lionel. So it's just orange Wizrobes left. Shouldn't be too terribly difficult. And there it goes. Plenty of health, still 2 potions and 4 bombs. Now, some well-placed bombs could go a long way, which he's doing right now.
Pretty good bombs, yeah. Look at these beefy Wizrobes. How many bombs did he just use? He hasn't killed a single one of them yet.
They must be 12 HP. They've got to be 12 HP, and he didn't hit a single one 3 times. That's what you have to do. That's the ticket. But still plenty of health, but do not die with a potion in your hand. He's got to watch his health carefully. The blue Wizrobes are starting to dwindle, though. We're down to 4. Make it 3.
May not even
I think he's got this.
Potion here.
He didn't even need it!
What an amazing job by Mr. Cab. He's headed the 9 laws with a full drink of Coke in his pocket.
Yeah, that is amazing. He didn't need the potion. He still had a few hearts to spare. Now he's got that potion to use in level 9 in case he needs it. And Sub 45 is still on the table. We've seen quick level 9s. Now, yes, they're far and few in between, but they very well could happen. But there is one thing that is rolling against Mr. Cab at the moment. His bomb count currently sits at 0. As we all know in Shapes, level 9 being the great equalizer as it is, JSR, these contestants have to play everybody's favorite game show, or maybe not so favorite game show, of Find the Bomb Hole.
And this could end up being a huge factor as well. Maybe not so much in the outcome in the race as much as it is how long it'll take Cab to get through level 9. Because as we've explained before, Jaylow gets another Wallmaster hand. He's going to have to try again here in 6. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be looking for 2 things, Laws, and they could be anywhere.
That's right. We're looking for, first we're going to be listening for the Roar of Ganon, and our 2 options are to go straight north or to the right this time around. Listening for the Roar of Ganon. If we hear the Roar of Ganon, then Ganon will be adjacent to where the runner currently is, north, south, east, or west. Second thing he's going to be looking for, unfortunately, that shutter door opens, so that is not the location of Link. We're looking for a room with a single shutter door. Well, that's a quadruple shutter door room, so that's definitely not where Link is going to be. But if there is a single shutter door room, full clear, and it does not open, we have found the location of Link in Mr. Cab's case, since he's playing as the Zelda sprite.
Oh, Laws, did you hear that?
I hear a pig.
Yes, I think we're going to have a bacon. Oh, well, it's not that direction, but I think we're going to find a piggy here soon enough.
There's just one problem. Again, he has no bomb, so he can't play Find the Bomb Hole to see if he can get into Ganon's room. He's going to have to find a bomb-dropping source of enemies or some kind of floor drop in order to have a shot. Now, in Shapes, you'll know where Ganon's room is because when you enter the room, it goes dark. That is the only room in Shapes level 9 that goes dark, unlike in Vanilla where lots of rooms can go dark.
Well, the good news is it does appear he's going to be able to fight Ganon. The question now is, where is Zelda? Here we go, Laws. Do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon. We need 15 hits with that wood sword, and a Hyrule Driver is going to cost Mr. Cab 1 heart. Does have a double portion of potion here, so does have a good chance here. Oh, getting a Hyrule Driver there. Can't get the stun lock. 1 hit on under his belt. There's 2. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, not quite.
Yeah, really nice stun lock there. Almost got him.
1 more hit left to go, and we're going to have some crispy bacon here. And, ooh, that last hit being a little bit evasive here. And there's number 15. Down goes Ganon. We've got bacon. Mr. Cab will pick up his Triforce of Power. He's got a minute left. He still has a shot at sub 45 here. Now looking for the single shutter door room that automatically opens. And remember, it could be behind this shutter door. That is the exception to the rule. Is Link here? No.
Yeah, one thing not playing to Cab's advantage at this point is that bomb count. Would really love to find a floor bomb. Otherwise, he's going to have to just rely on these open doors or these staircases, which level 9, despite having 6 staircases, typically is pretty friendly. There's only 1 or 2 segments typically that are inaccessible from the main chunk. But
oh, that is not it. We see a single shutter door, but it did not automatically open, so that is not where Link is. And of course, when it comes to level 9, normally Zelda, or in this case Link, being the world champion hide-and-seek hunter, we find that the staircase item in level 6 is the red candle. Jaylow will go ahead and pick it up.
And to answer the question in chat, honestly, Jaylow hasn't really played at all.
Wow, so the white sword ended up being in level 9, but considering where MrCab is at this spot, he doesn't need the white sword.
Honestly, Jaylow's played well. It's just been a lot of bad luck on his end compared to just insanely good luck and excellent execution on MrCab's. He's played this seed brilliantly. Won't get the sub 45, but still in position to put up a really, really strong time here.
Yeah, no question about it, Jay. Sorry, yeah, sub 50 definitely still on the table. We'll see if Link cooperates in this game of hide and seek. And yes, looking for bomb dropping as we do find some in the form of the camouflaged moblins here. Can he get a drop? No, sir. And Jaylow now in the Triforce room here in level 6 here, and does still have the Pepsi, which he's going to drink right now, but he too has no more bombs left, and again, just the wood sword to try and take him down.
Unfortunately for Jaylow,
there it is! Stop the presses. Wow. This race is over. Get your GGs out for MrCab just over the 46-minute mark. Boy, what a performance by MrCab in game number 2. That is going to lock up the match. He's moving on to the next round.
Unbelievable. Race number 2 for MrCab. One of the strongest times you're going to see in bracket play laws. That is going to stack up against almost anybody. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing considering the tense combat. I mean, MrCab literally played just about a perfect game there. And with that, we do have MrCab here in the commentator's booth with us. GG, boy, what a time.
Why couldn't this be the first seed?
Wow. I know, right? Hey, by the way, it's 2 in a row. For those of you who are playing the Name That Tune for the recorded theme, remember what I always say? When in doubt, guess a Super Nintendo RPG. Well, guess what? Cyan from Final Fantasy VI qualifies as a Super Nintendo RPG. But yeah, MrCab, well done. What a time.
Yeah, this seed just kind of worked out, unlike the first one. Getting the key early meant there was no resource constraints. I forget what order I found things, but I think I was in go mode with like 4 Triforces to get or something like that.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. It was like 25 minutes in, you were already in Triforce and go mode. I think the only thing that stopped you from getting an even faster time was level 6. That was just a nasty, nasty level to get through the super ultimate magical breakfast platter, and then 8 blue Wizrobes. You definitely made the right play by going back for that potion, and then you had the extra potion handy in level 9 in case you needed it. Turns out you didn't really need it. You played this seed just about as perfect as you could have, MrCab. That was amazing.
Yeah, blue Wizrobes are just the worst. That's why it was get a potion, go to the ferry, get some bombs, go in there, and just go to town on them with the red ring. What's that white sword doing all the way up there anyway? Come on. I could have
always in level 9. It's always in level 9, man.
Absolutely brilliant how you were able to just make the right plays. And this seed was combat heavy, and yet it didn't seem to phase you. I mean, other than level 6 giving you a little bit of issues, you flew through and handled it. I mean, was there any thought in your mind that you were making the right plays when you did, or was it just, I mean, obviously, you know, this randomizer is just stupid sometimes with how unlucky you can get compared to how lucky you can get. In your mind, like, would you have done anything different, or was this just the way randomizer goes sometimes?
No, I think this was just kind of the way it shook itself out. I mean, I've got my little plan, right? Do level 3, do level 1 first, check Armos, and the only unfortunate thing about this, right, was that the first dungeons I checked, 3 of the first ones were 8 and 6, which were just, I couldn't really do them. 8 admittedly was only bomb blocked, but 1 was nice, and then from there, this seed just worked. I've got the overworld route, and from there it's just play percentages and go.
Well, I'll tell you, a 46 is stackable against anybody in this tournament. I would not want to race a 46. That was insanely impressive to see. And I mean, give due credit where it's due. Jaylow, our other runner-up in today's match, played amazing. Just the way Randall worked, he couldn't get those items in the same order you did, and you were already in go mode, ridiculously early. It was very impressive to see.
Oh, thanks.
So, unfortunately, that does mean that Jaylow's tournament in the brackets will be coming to an end tonight. Amazing job throughout the tournament, and great to see him in the tournament this time around. And he gave you a great match in round one. Before we get more into round two, I just wanted to get your thoughts on your next round. You'll be moving on to race cabin in the next round. Your thoughts, if any?
No thoughts. I just don't know Cabin. I think I saw his name on at least like the commentary sheet for the first round, so maybe I'll go back, watch that, get his thoughts there, see what's in his head. But yeah.
Absolutely, man. You just absolutely destroyed this seed here, Mr. Cabin. Yeah, I definitely agree with JSR's assessment there. That time is competable against anybody. I mean, even Crystal Saver. I don't even know if Crystal Saver gets a 46 in a seed like this. It was just absolutely amazing performance you put up tonight, Mr. Cab.
Yeah, it just comes down to that blue Wizrobe room for that. And there was like, I think the screen was halfway scrolled up, and then I heard Ganon at like the last minute there. Otherwise, we would have had a much longer 9.
Yeah, with no bombs, to your credit.
That's even more impressive. You didn't have any bombs going into level 9, and normally level 9's a game of find the bomb hole, and that didn't end up being a factor for you either.
I mean, you saw me pausing on the way in, killing that blue Octorok. I'm like looking at the bush over there. All right, what was in the shop at the forgotten spot? I have meat written down. I would have written down bombs if that. I'm like thinking, where's the bomb shop? It must be the rare shop at this point. But
I don't even think we saw a bomb shop. Did we, JSR?
Off the top of my head, it's kind of hard to recall. I know we saw him in race number 1. I'm trying to remember if we did. I imagine we did. But
it might be at the Arrow shop, which would have been the vanilla candle shop. But I don't think I saw him, which means it's got to be the rare shop.
Had to be. I would have mentioned the price of bombs. I'm certain that had to be the rare shop.
Yeah, because I was like thinking on my way to level 3, like, oh, where's the bomb shop? Maybe I could just buy a few. Oh God, what am I gonna do? Otherwise, I would have been going back to level 1 to farm them, I guess. Those gorillas right outside. One-hit gorillas on the overworld in both seeds. My goodness, can we get that every seed too?
I know, right?
Yeah, very nice. At least for the overworld in your bomb troubles. But man, that second seed had so many difficult rooms of combat and so many Wizrobes and just so many. That level 8 was like nothing but bosses. The entire level 8 was just a big boss rush. And what was, like, in general, your thoughts on this seed compared to the other one, as far as how that other one was just so trolly? I mean, this one could have been just as bad depending on how you did it.
Yeah, that first one was just awful. I never want to see it again. Although at the same time, I kind of want to see the Routers Relish group, where they kind of get their week to route out a seed, take that first seed on, because I feel like they could cut the 40 on that easily enough. That one is just, if you know where the ladder is, and if you know where the raft is in the first one, you could have gotten through that a lot faster. All the time was spent looking for the ladder. This seed, I mean, 8 was if you had a bomb. What do I have here marked off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 rooms marked off on this map for level 8. This 8 was easy. 6 was the impossible combat. Yeah, maybe it was just a combat seed, and just Wizrobes are my kryptonite.
Yeah, Wizrobes are a lot of people's kryptonite, and usually it's not because of the Wizrobes themselves, but they're often accompanied, like in this seed, they're often accompanied by bubbles.
Ugh. And Lionel's this time, too.
Yeah, that room before the 8 Blue Wizard room, that was absolutely nuts. The ultimate magical breakfast room. Yikes. But you did really well in it, both times.
That was magical breakfast with some sausage running around. My goodness.
Yeah, pretty much, right.
Hearty magical breakfast.
Yeah, you got it.
As in, it eats your hearts. Ugh. I didn't have that when I went into it, and then I heard it, and I just, no, we're done here.
Certainly, yeah.
I can't do better than that. We better go out on a high note.
Well, I'll tell you what, you went out tonight on a high note, but your tournament is not over yet because, as JSR mentions, our next opponent in the round of 64 is going to be Kevin, and I think it's going to be a good, and I think you're going to put up a good fight.
Yeah, we'll see what I can do. I think these two seeds kind of showed it off a little bit. Like, if things go right, I'll fly through things. If things go wrong, well, we might be here a while. Sounds like Zelda Randomizer.
Doesn't it, though?
Well, I think you showed everybody that you are definitely a force to be reckoned with and somebody that nobody should take lightly. Anybody who can put a time up like that in a seed like this is somebody to keep an eye on. And I am, for one, excited to see how the rest of your tournament goes. Thank you very much, both of you guys, for a really awesome and entertaining race tonight. Thank you so much.
And thanks both of you for commentating. Thanks Speed Gaming and everybody here for putting us on. And yeah, thanks everybody who organized this mess too. My goodness, I don't envy you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Cav, and we wish you the best of luck in your next match.
Thanks. I'll try to live up to expectations.
All right, sounds good. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, MrCab55, everyone, make sure you give him and also Jaylow7 a follow as well. They did a tremendous job tonight, and those were not easy seeds, ladies and gentlemen. Those were some brutal seeds that these runners were dealt tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw blue rings and potions required at certain points. That level 6 was brutal and tons of difficult combat, bosses galore. But our runners did very well tonight, and I'm thoroughly impressed. And that's the thing about this randomizer tournament, Laws. Any of these races could be like that. It's anybody's game, and it's just that person who gets either a little lucky or puts in the work and learns what to do and handles it like we saw tonight. I mean, that was just brilliant play. I can't wait to see the next match.
Me neither. And as I always like to say, JSR, Zelda Randomizer doesn't care who you are. Anybody can win at any given time, and any runner, I don't care how good you are, any runner can get trolled at any time as well. So, yeah, as you mentioned, definitely anyone's game at any match. Absolutely.
And for those of you out there who want to see more Zelda 1 Randomizer, this is round 1 of the bracket stage of what's going to be a tremendously entertaining month of October. We're just getting started here. Round 1 is fresh in, just getting going. And make sure you follow both the Randomania and Speed Gaming Network of channels to be able to catch all of this content as well as much more from your favorite speed games. And Laws, I'm excited. I need to go walk this off for a minute. I'm going to let you take us out of here, brother.
All right, sounds good. Before we leave you tonight, I do want to point out that there are 2 matches that have just gotten underway here. One that's on Randomania between Balletta and Ben Glass Tube, and one that's in progress on Speed Gaming 2 between Tetra Lee and Leslie Pro 04. That is a game 3 right there. Winner take all, moving on to the next round of the tournament, and the loser, unfortunately, we will be saying goodbye to them. Also, a little bit later on at 11 p.m. Eastern, we have a 2-pack of races here on Speed Gaming. It is the Greenleaf Effect versus Hi, I'm Enamel. And on Speed Gaming 4, it is Truant Gamer and Chrono JJ. So with that, that's going to wrap things up for us here on Speed Gaming 4. On behalf of our 2 racers, MrCab55 and Jaylow7, on behalf of our tracker, Crimson Avix, on behalf of our commentator partner for the first race, Kevin856, and on behalf of my broadcast partner, JSR, well done on both of the races, my friend. You did really, really good job.
Thank you very much, Laws, as well as you.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So with that, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23 for everybody here in our Speed Gaming family of networks. Have yourselves a great evening, and we will see you later on tonight. Truant Gamer and Chrono JJ, they're coming up here on Speed Gaming 4. So long, everybody.